I've been here since July 22nd, 2002. It's been now a year since I haven't seen my family. And so I'm trying to, obtain a full-time job opposed to a part-time. I don't get vacation time so I can go home and spend with my family. And that's my big issue right now because it's like I'm a family person. I love my mama so much. I mean, it's just a big part of me right now. And I mean, I still go to church once in a while.
To lose my kids because the backward state of Wisconsin saw me as this abomination from hell. No fit parent for any children, right? And so I lost my rights to see the kids. And it was terrible and horrible for me. There was times for a good number of years that even just the mention of it would make me break out and cry.
A little bit of my history. I was born in Dominican Republic. My name is Cristina San Rodriguez. I'm a 20-year-old Latina transgender, identify as male to female. I was born biologically male, and I had to play the male role. But I never looked like when I was younger, I still looked like a female, Some people say, well, you chose to be a transgender. I didn't choose it. It wasn't given to me. It wasn't handed down from generation to generation. Basically, it's just the way I view life. It's the way I define me.
I knew that I was different at the age of 3. And I had been born with the name Michelle. It's the same name that I use now. Even my middle name, which is Erin, E-R-I-N, which is a girl's name. That's the name I was born with. I remember my relatives coming over and talking to my mother, and I said, well, why did you name him Michelle? And it says, well, we wanted a girl because my older brother, was firstborn male, and that's all my dad cared about, and so they wanted a girl, and they got me. And so I went to the priest when I was in the 4th grade, and I went to him in confessional, and I told him, the way I felt. And I was expecting some kind of counseling. I was expecting some kind of conviction, or that he was going to tell my parents even, And instead he said, we'll say 15 Hail Marys and 10 Our Fathers and 4 acts of contrition. And that was it. Or, I'm just like a little kid. I don't know what to do with these big, feelings, of questioning of gender and sex and preferences of things like that. What do I do with that?
A lot of people view transgenders as one who hasn't done the surgery, where transgender could be anything. Like one who hasn't taken the pills, one who has done the surgery or hasn't. It's just basically where you fall at, where you see yourself as.
They have what they call the Benjamin Standards of Care. And that is a format of certain things that any trans person must follow, particularly, M to S, male to female. And that is that you live entirely in that role for a year before you're even eligible for surgery. When you've lived in your desired gender for that year, you're able to get your surgery with verification from a therapist and a doctor. Prior to those years, though, some of the girls would just say, I'm a girl, okay, do surgery on me. And some of them would get it done as long as they had the money. Doctors didn't care. Surgery was very risky in those days, and a lot of them just basically got holes cut into them. And, where there wasn't any more than 2 or 3 inches, and their sexual activity was, at best, less than adequate. Some of them, committed suicide, because they didn't have the year to come adjusted to what it's like, because that is a big physical, yes, mental and emotional change, huge.
Outside of my transitioning process, I would say it's been a year and 3 months when I started hormones. Surgery itself costs $28 and up, so I mean, and some more. And right now, currently, since I'm saving a lot of money, I have like $5 and something. You know, it's like once you go through the surgery, it's a real big step, because you shouldn't do it just to satisfy others. You should try to satisfy more yourself. You should focus on, am I sure I want this, or do I want it just to satisfy my partner, whomever they may be? I mean, I noticed that a lot of us transgenders, I don't want to say we blend in with the crowd, because a lot of females, they think, oh, you know, when you have that drag queen trying to be a girl, or like crossdresser or transvestite, you know, try to be like girls, but you know, they can't quite cut it. You know, that's the way a lot of females see it as. But it's not that we're trying to, you know, it's not how we perceive them, it's how we perceive ourselves. So basically, what I'll try to do is like, I got lost. I mean, I've been offered to, like, you know, work in HSF, or, you know, to work with some of my girls, my clients at the streets. But then again, it's, you know, it's something that I don't want myself. I want something more. I just want to, like, create a new stereotype, which will be a positive, of course. And, you know, I just want to bring it to the community. Be like, oh, wow, she's young and she's doing all this positive stuff. And the Lord will bless you with a lot of blessings. You just got to know how to accept him. You got to know how to work with him. Like, he could open so many doors, and you just got to, you know, unlock it. You just go in, walk in.
All right. Que vivan las chaparritas. Okay, now we have Latin Jazz by Michelle Garcia. And she is a Latin jazz artist who was once signed with Elektra Records and was crowned Miss Transgender San Francisco 2000, performing 3 selections from her Spanish Traveler CD, along with Beverly Steele on percussion and Woodward and guitar.
I appreciate you guys coming out tonight and celebrating the International Queer Arts Festival. We should do this more often than once a year, right?
Always tried to maintain this macho kind of, you know, guy image, because that was my cover. In high school, I was a 4-year letterman. You know, I went out for sports, and I played basketball for 4 years in varsity, and ran track and cross country, and during the football season, I was cheerleader. You know, I began cross-dressing when I was 8 years old, and made love as a girl to my first guy when I was 13. I didn't make love to my first woman as a guy until I was 19 years old. As a teen, there was no information out there to give me any kind of validity of what I was doing, where I was. You know, I considered myself a freak. When I was 17, I met my first post-op transsexual woman. And it's like, whoa, this is so cool. It's like, yes, it can be done. Somebody I can relate to, you know. You know, I was fighting to be this normal person that society wanted me to be, that my parents wanted me to be, and I had this other element that said that I am absolutely a woman, that I totally identify with being, you know, a woman and as a girl, and that's what I wanted, you know, and that was where my sexual preference was. My last stab at trying to be quote-unquote normal, I thought, well, you know, if I got married and if I had children, you know, then I think that I could hold that as sacred, and it would make me, you know, normal. Wrong.
For me to trust a man is really difficult, because I just realized also that men do stick their thing in anywhere they can. And at first I didn't think that was true, but you know what? These men that are very good looking, that I'm dating, they conceited little bastards, they just want to fuck. And, you know, they're not really into relationships, like I said. They just, you know, basically when they see me, they think, damn, her body is fine. I want to just take that and make a note about her, basically, like you did in high school, or jot down what females you slept with. But you see, like, the emotions of us females, we get a little bit more agitated, you know, we get a little bit cranky and PMSy, we get like frustrated, we're like, oh my god, we're becoming a risk wreck. Everyone has their perspective on people, you know. It's like, oh, well, this is my image on transgender, this is what I'm used to seeing. But, you know, it's like a lot of them hasn't seen a further on transgender. Like, you have your different transgender ones again that look very manly, and you have ones that are very passable as Yoko females. And it's like the crying game.